Hi there, welcome to the FocusHoops WBBL playoff final preview for the year 2022. It is going to be an amazing day on Sunday in the O2 Arena. And today we've got two very, very special part members, shall we say, of the FocusHoops family. We've got my main man up in Manchester, one of my main men up in Manchester. I'm not starting any nonsense today. It is, of course, the living legend himself, Mbongeni, Greg Mpofu. Greg, what are we saying?
Hey man, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this game pretty much before the season even started. When you start seeing the moves that London Lions are making, we all expected them to be here. They're here, and it's been a hell of a journey for them, and we're looking at history in the making.
And I've got Big Bro in the South Coast, the main man, the guard extraordinaire, Ishmael Fontaine of the Worthing Thunder. Ish, what are you saying?
Man's chilling. I just came back from working out because obviously we lost in the playoffs in the first round, and that's not acceptable. It's the first time in my career, so I'm back in the gym. That's what we're doing.
I mean, I'm not holding that one on you personally, Ish.
Yeah, but team game.
They played well that day as well. The Hoods.
They did all right. We didn't stick to the game plan. That's what happens. But if you hit every single, I don't know, man. All you can do is work till it hurts. Do you know what I mean? Big up Steve Nash.
All right. So it is the final that we expected. It's the final that we wanted. And in a way, I was thinking about this earlier, it's the final that the league needs. It is, of course, the London Lions, the history-making London Lions, one game away from immortality, from perfection, the perfect domestic season. They are yet to lose a game in any domestic competition that they have entered, and they're on the cusp of something incredibly special. No team has taken the clean sweep even in WBBL competition. Of course, they're going up against Sevenoaks Suns, the 2 seed, the dynasty under Len Bush, Cathcart and T. Clark, who's obviously not with the team this year, but has been such an integral part of this, like we say, dynasty. So, Greg, throw over to you first. Just what are your opening thoughts about this matchup and the importance of this matchup in the context of the WBBL as it stands?
I think, as you said, this is the matchup everyone expected at the beginning of the season. Sevenoaks Suns have had a long history in the WBBL of being a very dominant force. Their trophy collection speaks for itself. They had a couple of undefeated league seasons. Even though they didn't complete the clean sweep, which the Lions look poised to do. And, just the Lions roster, the quality and the depth of the roster, from day one, that placed the target on their heads. And for them to still be at this possession with a 0 in that column under L is very impressive because, we've seen a lot of basketball in other places where the weight of expectations has just taken a team all the way down and they've not been able to accomplish what they probably should have. But the professionalism of the players on that roster, not least of all Joe Warner, it's infectious to the rest of the group. The focus, Mark Clark's leadership, it's been a joy for me to watch, and I've seen it up close when they came up here to Manchester. It's a different feeling when you see them up close and you see how they work. It was a game they had won. They had it won early, but they said, no, we're not done. We're going to finish the job. If you're a fan, it can be hard to watch against your team, but if you're just appreciative of basketball, that was incredible for me.
Ish, same question to you. What does this matchup mean for WBBL right now?
To be honest, it's a worrying thing for me to see that so many good players are retiring. Janice apparently is retiring. I seen that on, and I watched her twice for 2 weeks in a row, and she was insane. She's nowhere near the level that she needs to be stopping playing basketball. Obviously, Cat Carr's been flirting with retirement for a couple of years. So this might be the last game where you see some real WBBL greats playing. So that's sad in and beautiful at the same time, because you're playing against, you've been knocked off the mountaintop a little bit with, your dominance, because of obviously how great the London Lions are. From the point guard to the 12th player on the bench, they're very, very good. But you can still see how well, Sevenoaks play. Like, I watch them play, and it's like clockwork. Everyone plays their role. They're super well coached. They prioritize defense. They prioritize moving the ball on offense, and I think it's going to be a very good game if they come out strong.
So let's a lot to unpack from what you just said there. Let's talk about what the game can mean in terms of retirements. Like, we've got Janice going. I completely agree with you. Her level of play is still fantastic, and I was surprised when I saw it, the news break and confirmed by Janice that she's calling it a day. But unfortunately, I think that speaks to a reality of British basketball, where a player of her unquestionable talent, a GB international, and former playoff championship MVP, is leaving the game at what I consider to be an early age. Ish, carry on with that.
I mean, we're talking about a player who can lead a team in scoring off the bench, whilst guarding a marquee matchup. We're talking about a player who rebounds, who runs the floor, who shoots the three incredibly well, who can go left, who can go right. Like, we're talking about a player who's also a very strong, powerful player with the skill level she has. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. It's bad for the league. It's bad for the league when you're talking about a GB level player. She's a GB international level player, and she does not want to play basketball anymore because of whatever infrastructural issues there are with the league. Whether it's, I don't know why she's retiring. I pray that she's going on to greener pastures or something great, but retiring from the game of basketball at the level she is wild. I understand Kat Carr, as much as Kat Carr is probably my favorite player in the league, bar a couple others, but she's had a great career. She's played in other countries. I kind of know, the situation, why she's doing what she's doing, but Janice, man, it's like, hit me hard. I ain't gonna lie, it was stressful.
Yeah, I mean, Janice is way younger than I realized. Actually, she's 26 years old, and so not even at what would be considered her prime.
No.
And she's stepping away from the sport. So obviously, all of us at FocusHoops wish her the absolute best in whatever comes next. And but yeah, it is a shame, Greg.
Yeah, and like, looking at the rosters, comparing Lions to the Sevenoaks roster. When I look at the Lions roster, apart from Liam Warner and Azania Stewart, nobody else on that roster is over 30 years of age. That is a roster that's built for the future, that is succeeding now. All right, that's part one. Part two, they are very much invested in British talent. They've got two import players, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Officially, they have two import players, that being Cassie Breen and Stephanie Ume. Really and truly, everyone else on that roster is Great British. Yeah, that's going from Kennedy Leonard, British. Okay, naturalization rules mean that she doesn't always get to play with the national team. But then you've also got Shanice Beckford Norton in there. You got Shaquilla Joseph in there. You got Holly Winterburn in there. Chantel Charles. I can keep going with the youngsters. Grace Strickland, Fatima Jani, Paige Miller. This, nothing lasts forever when we look at the Sevenoaks situation. Like you said, Kakar's been in the WBBL since it began. She's been dominating the WBBL since it began. at some point she was going to call it a day. I still, I'm speculating because I'm not in the inside of any of those situations. But if she does call it a day, we can't really be upset because she's had a hell of a career. This is now the space for other players to step up in the league. You look around the other teams, this is, you know, is it time for an Ivy Lowe to step up and fill that gap, an Ebony Horton to fill that gap? You know, how much longer are we going to have a Nicolette Fong Liu Chi? I don't think we're going to have Georgia Jones for much longer. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end after this season. I'm not going to be surprised if we've seen the end of Dom Allen in the WBBL, Rhiannon Bailey, if we're talking about Manchester. There's going to be a lot of change there. This is the room now for, we always talk about the game developing, growing, going somewhere. We want to see these players being okay. I want to see the younger players pushing these players out of the league rather than them just stepping away. I want to see someone like a Grace Strickland turning around and saying to Kennedy Leonard, "I'm after your spot." Okay, we're talking about one of the best point guards we've ever seen in the British game. I get that, but that's the challenge. You're practicing with her every single day. You see how she works. You should be picking her brain. You should be the annoying little sister, every single day, picking up the mantle, getting every little piece of jewelry that you can from a Kennedy Leonard, from a Jolie Warner. Now, I've been around a couple of times, Great Britain women's practices, helping out, and the intensity with which she works, even when she stretches with intensity. How do you do that? You know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing a young player can only benefit from when you're around it. And then they also have to take that and challenge their own cohorts with it. Don't just keep this stuff to yourself because you're learning from someone else also. Challenge, those people around your age to be better. And then you will start to see the growth. Like coaches, yes, coaching, we have to do X, Y, and Z and be a lot better. But you develop because of your peers. And these are the people that are going to be leading the way for the next 5-10 years in the WBBL. And I'm excited. Like, of course, we hate to lose a Janice Monacana at age 26. It's tough. It's the demands of so-called pro life in the UK. It's not really, and not unless you're, in a certain select group of clubs. But again, like I say, it's the challenge for someone to step in and fill that gap.
You talk about young players, and you make the example of Grace Strickland should be learning from Kennedy Leonard. One thing that I see, so obviously having the how would I say it? The honor? Let's call it the honor of commentating the Lions men and women program this year alongside now Gray, and of course FocusHoops' own Mike Hanson Morris. Fantastic team down in London. Watching the pre-game warm-up, you've got Joe and you've got Holly working together. You've got Holly Winterburn, who has been really taken on the wing of Jodie Warner, working together, and a couple of others. And that is what you want to see. You're talking about the future. I mean, like, Holly's the future now. We know that. But I'm so excited about where her future career is going to go even further. And for her to be working with Jodie Warner every day and learning from her every day, that is so exciting. And I do see quite a lot of that with these London Lions of like working together, looking to improve. So let's just really now focus in on this final. So of course it's Lions taking on the Sevenoaks Suns. We've spoken a little about the historical importance of this fixture. Though the last couple of times they've met, it's been the Lions have taken the last 3 victories. A 1976 win on the road. They won at home 67-58. But the big one that I want to draw attention to, that trophy final up in Glasgow, 36 points from a Sevenoaks Suns team to 72 by the London Lions. That's just, for me, and I think for everybody else, completely unheard of. I mean, Ish, just talk us through what kind of bearing or impact the trophy final could have on Sunday's final.
I honestly don't, just knowing the Sevenoaks Suns and knowing the leadership they have on that team, I don't think that's in their brain. I think they fully understand that performance was unacceptable from an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, is unacceptable. And I don't think it's going to be in their brain at this precise time, to be real. I think they're going to look at how do we execute on the day? How do we play Sevenoaks basketball on this day? You know, and I also understand that Len Bush, you know, is an adaptable coach. That's what's kept him as a winner all these times. So I don't think the trophy final will be in their brains unless it's a revenge thing. And I don't think that they need any more motivation other than to win a trophy, to go forward and just win this trophy. I think, you know, you have to get the matchups right. You have to stop these offensive rebounds from Stewart and Umen. You got to stop them. You got to get out to the 3-point shooters. They've got a barrage of them. So, and you know, you've got to just be strong offensively. Attack your switches. You know, Lions like to switch everything. So it's all about game plan and executing the game plan. It's not about the last time you played it. You know, it's a final. One, anything can happen. You know.
Greg?
I do tend to agree with Ish that, you know, it's not going to have that much of a bearing. A, because it was so long ago, really, in the, you know, in the evolution of the season, and also B, I think the Lions caught even an experienced side like Sevenoaks off guard on that day. Um, I do believe it was the first time they were meeting for that season,
Yep.
and just the buzzsaw that they ran into, the intensity with which Lions opened up the game with and continued with for 40 minutes was actually a shock to the system. Because if you look back to the season before, Leicester Riders versus Sevenoaks in a final, I think even being short-handed on the day, Sevenoaks were right there for the most part, apart from a poor early start with the Leicester Riders, and they were able to recover and get back in the game. I think they got used to being able to start poorly and grow into the game. Lions would not let them do that. So it was really the poor start that caught them out. Now, in terms of this game coming up on Sunday, the one thing that this always tends to happen that London Lions don't seem to get credited for is how good they are defensively. And that is led by Jolie the Warner. She's got a nastiness about her that I really like when she's defending, and it's fair. That's the key part. It is fair, but it is nasty, and it sets the tone for the rest of her teammates. Because, like I said, she's so intense. She's not going to be out there busting it and looking at you chilling out and let that fly. No. So everybody's got to pick up this rope and we run with it. You know what I mean? So from whether it's Kennedy Leonard, whether it's Shanice Beckford Norton really harassing you for 94 feet, like every time you're coming off a cut, you're trying to come off a pin down, wherever there's a forearm in your chest, you know, it's going to be hard for you to get to your spots. Now, the key there for Sevenoaks is going to be how patient can they be in the face of that? You know, obviously you want to get out run, get the early easy scores if they're there. If not, you've got to take your time with the ball and wear London down as much as you can, because, you know, if you allow London to rush you, that's the game they want to play. They want more possessions to go up the other end and score and come back and play more defense because they thrive off it. So you really have to be, you know, patient. If you're 7-0, you really got to execute, look after the basketball. That's going to be the key.
This was something that you mentioned actually in the group chat the other day during the Caledonia and London game. You were talking about usage rate in that game and talking about the Lions. Can you expand on what you mentioned there and talking about pace of play?
So you really want to look at how many possessions the team's generating in a game, right? And anytime you see a team that plays a high pace, it's easy to think that's just offense. No, your defense is what generates extra possessions. The way that the Lions generate extra possessions is by, first of all, they go after your ball handlers. They want your ball handlers to make quick decisions. The quick decisions oftentimes can be bad decisions because you're uncomfortable. You're throwing away the ball, you just want it out of your hands. The coach is in your ear, your teammates are in your ear. So you want to do something with the ball because you're under all this fire. Um, but I think the experience of Sevenoaks won't allow them to do that. If you look at Caledonia, their calling card was how they played on the defensive end. Offensively, they struggled. They struggled very much this season. If you look at all the offensive stats, they were either middle or actually the bottom of the table in some of the offensive scouting stats. But defensively, they were right at the top of the league. They were probably the best defensive team in the league overall with their size and length. Now, that can only get you so far when you're playing a team with the firepower of a London Lions, but that's just the reality of where they were. Sevenoaks, their semi-final against Nottingham, they won that by playing defense. They had a light roster that day. They were dealing with a few knocks here and there. Offense will betray you, so they really had to knuckle in on defense and get it done that way. Now, you have to defend. You're playing London Lions, you have to defend. But again, what they do with the ball is going to be the key for Sevenoaks. If they look after it, don't throw it away, and force London to have to work for all 40 minutes, then you have a game. Now, the question now becomes, what do we consider a game in this situation when it comes to a London Lions matchup?
Greg, sorry, not Greg, Ish. Let's follow on from Greg's question. What's he throwing out to you?
I think the one thing, if I'm Glenn, I'm watching the transition defense online. So I agree with you that Caledonia struggled and they sometimes rushed shots, but you saw Lake and James getting early shots down. That's what you got to do. You got to really move the ball when it's a fight half court game. Get them into pick and roll situations where you're isolated. You're putting Azania Stewart on the island with a guard or something like this in this situation. But the transition defense, I'm sure Coach Clark will look at the transition defense against Caledonia and say, look, this is unacceptable, especially in the first quarter. I mean, Lake and James, she had 19 points in the first quarter. She was going crazy, and then she got into foul trouble and the point guard went into foul trouble. But the point guard actually started that. She was pushing the ball, attacking the rim. So, what needs to happen, in my opinion, is you got to move the ball and take your open shots, man. You're playing a team who, won't hesitate to shoot that basketball down on the other end, and they will shoot it. And they've got very good rebounders. They got Ume, they got Azania Stewart, even Charles. She can get some long ones. She plays tough. She shoots the ball really well. And
you got Shanice.
Who's incredibly quick. She's insane.
Incredibly quick, but able to get in there and pull down some boards as well.
Yeah, she's just physical as well. So she comes off the bench. That's what's wild. That's what stresses me out. I'm saying, dude, you got to come off the bench. You start on every team in the league. So that's the problem.
So this is the thing that's unique about London Lions, especially in this league, and I'm glad you brought up Ish. Both of their imports don't start. It's an all British starting five.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, they clearly don't start their 5 best players. They have a rotation that works, and everyone has actually bought into that rotation. That's obviously credit to Mark Clark, but that's credit to the senior leadership amongst the players, because when it comes down to having, I used to be the man wherever I went, I used to be that player wherever I was before. It's easy to default to wanting to be that again and prove yourself, especially when there's such a collection of talent. That's not been the case. If I'm looking at the numbers for the London Lions this season, nobody is dominating any statistical category except for one. Kennedy Leonard is by far dominating their assist category.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's really close amongst the rotation players in terms of what they're producing. You've got your scoring leaders, Joe Leadham Warner and Cassie Breen at 15.7. Right behind that is Shanice Beckford Norton at 14.4. Then you have Winterburn at 11.7, Leonard at 10.8. So it's not a massive spread there. They're all very close to each other. The shooting percentages are close. rebounds are close. The guards are rebounding very heavily. Joe Leadham Warner is rebounding quite a lot here. Sheck Joseph is rebounding quite a lot. Shanice is rebounding a lot, as Ish mentioned. They don't turn the ball over. That's when you're playing against a team that's not going to give up the ball. Like it's long. It's a long
Yeah,
day.
it's tough, man. And but one thing I'll say about Sevenoaks is they play a defense, not really trying to get you to turn the ball over, but trying to get you to take tough shots. Now,
yeah, they play scoring defense.
Yeah, they attack on off. They're playing offense on defense. They're attacking you. Like they want you to. They clog the lanes. They move. They stunt. They talk, and I love watching it. They try to keep you at the middle as well. That's very important. That's one of my kind of things with my guys. Like, yo, keep dudes at the middle. We can't let people get to the middle. So, I think when we're talking about two teams that prioritize defense, that's why I get excited, because then that's when you see some real highlight plays. You see some real special offensive talents. People got to come out and hoop. That's what I like. Those stingy kind of like Leicester Riders play that way. Just like how Coach Greg was talking about. They play in a way of, yo, no one's playing over 25 minutes. No one's about to get no 40 points in this game. We're about to play together. We're about to win this game by 25-30. That's tough. That's a horrible team to play against. You want to play against a team, who have one guy, one guy, one girl. They're trying to get out of the league because their agent says, you need to go get 20 points a game. Yeah, let me play against them. I want to play against that team. I don't want to play against no team where they've got a WNBA vet and she's passing it. She has a good shot, but she's passing up for a great one. Don't stress me out. You know what I mean? That's the big problem with the Lions. That's the big problem.
Yeah, and they're not caught up in the statistical side of it, because in the semifinal against Caledonia, Leadham Warner was one rebound away from a double-double. Coach Clark pulled her out of the game. Not a single peep out of her or anybody else about it. Like, it could be.
Somebody was in the semi-final. Somebody was one block away from a career high. Who was that? Somebody was a block or a steal, or somebody was one.
Azania Stewart had 5 blocks in the semi-final, so that could have been her.
That must have been it. Yeah.
It's not what they're here for.
Nothing at all.
It's not what they're here for, because when you look around, you think, okay, this weapon, that weapon, that weapon. I mean, on this particular day, it happened to be Holly Winterburn that just caught absolute fire, 11 of 13 from the field for 29 points. What do you do with that, ladies and gentlemen?
And also the circus shot. Let's not forget the circus shot.
Oh, that was insane.
The little volleyball spike from 10.
Oh, that's stressful.
Now,
that would really upset me. If I'm down,
the Rory
I'm down 15,
the Rory
I'm down 15-20, and you do a throw in and it goes in.
Yeah, but see, this is why I always say, always get the ball up on the rim, because you never know what might happen.
You never know. I was obviously commentating in the cop box. Our commentary position is just like left of. Ooh, where are we? We might be in line with the foul line on the left hand side as you look at it on your TV screen. I was watching that play. I had no idea where that ball was going until it was in the hoop, because I was like that. I just didn't understand. I saw the volleyball. I saw Rory Delap, and then next thing it's bedlam. It was just ridiculous. And when your luck is going for you, your luck is going for you. Holly Winterburn, 11 of 13 from the field.
Oh, it's incredible. Like, basketball would do that to you, because it's such a high-scoring sport. You have moments like that which just defy explanation, and like a team that generates as many possessions as London Lions, they seem to come up with a lot of them. Because again, we'll remember the offense of it, but this started on defense.
Yeah.
The Joe Leadham Warner assist in the cup final or the trophy final? I can't remember which competition.
That won her that won a reward at the weekend. Actually, it was like Lions Player of the Year.
Yeah. So this is your star player, by the way, your most experienced player, diving on the floor. She almost got stepped on the head. She dove on the floor for the ball and had the presence of mind, the wherewithal. Throw the dime over my head to my teammate who's streaking for a layup. Like, come on, man.
No, they're incredible. They are, and to be honest, you know how Holly Winterburn was 11 for 13.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those were off offensive rebounds from Ume? How many of them? How many offensive rebounds? I remember there was a situation where Ume got 3 offensive rebounds in one possession against Caledonia.
I got some bad news for you. It's because the stats weren't recording that.
What? I'm not
is,
surprised. I'm not surprised. Do you know what the stats do to me every year? Do you know how many times I look at the stats and go, "Whoa, I dimed him."
Hang on a second, Michael, just mute Mikey if you're watching this.
Hey man, I'm not having this stat slander.
Greg,
no, you bugging out. You stat people bugging out. No way. I'm out here shooting the ball well. There's a game where they missed a 3 off my John. Like, yo, don't be doing that. I only take 4 shots a game. Don't bug. Don't tweak, bro. Nah,
yeah, and that's the thing about London Lions. They're so relentless. Look at their rebounding.
They're insane. If you watch the game,
6.8 per game, but she's not even the top rebounder. It's Joe Leadham Warner, 6.9 per game. You know, like you got 6'5", Azania Stewart, and she is not your leading rebounder. It's your 5'11" guard that is your top rebounder.
She's over there, but the thing is, big up Azania Stewart, because I see her over there boxing out and people stealing her rebounds. I see that. I seen it. I saw that. I've seen every time you're boxing out people. I feel your pain right now. That happens to me. I'll be boxing people out, and then someone comes over and steals the rebound.
Did
you just compare yourself to Azania Stewart? Is that what
I'll be doing that. I'll be boxing out. I turn around and someone stole my rebound. Is that what we're doing today? All right, cool. You box out next time. I get my rebound. Big up Azania Stewart. Real team player. Squad.
Real team player. Good to work with. Good human being.
I heard her commentary. It was insightful. I really enjoyed it, actually.
Shout out FocusHoops, man. We in here.
Yeah, you did your thing. You always do your thing, though. Always.
So just as we're focusing on the Lions, just obviously who stood out to you as individuals that you've really enjoyed watching with the Lions this year? I mean, we've just mentioned a bunch of them. I want to highlight Shanice Beckford Norton, who obviously she went off in the final last year, in the playoff final last year. MVP, rightfully so. She was unreal.
Right, if you look at it,
go on.
This is the beauty of what they're doing over there. Last season, off lockdown season last year, really and truly, Shanice was the offensive focus for Lions last season. I remember clearly, and I think they're still running from time to time. They had a set that they used to run to throw a lob for her to open every single game, and 9 times out of 10 it will come off. Where's the scouting report? But anyway, never mind. To go from that
to... Are you looking for a job? Is that what this is?
Hey man, don't worry about me. I'm good. What does it say at the bottom of the screen there? Put it up, guys.
Oh, hang on. There it is.
I give jobs, I don't take them. Anyway, so to go from that role to, essentially with the way the Lions are built, you're asked to be another contributor. Now, when you're being a contributor on this team, it's a big thing, but it's not the highlight role that you were in. It's easy to highlight Cassie Breen last season because I think she was a leading scorer last season, but she was in hers.
31 minutes game. You want to talk about a role, and now Cassie Breen, again, another human that I've got a lot of time for. I just insert that statement for like every London Lion women's player, to be fair, but her role is down this year. She's playing 11 less minutes a game. She's not starting. She's not the focal point, but she is such a hey, can you come on and just put in a 3 for me? Just corner 3. Can you just do that?
She's playing in a sweet spot right now.
Go ahead.
She's playing in a sweet spot right now because you can't key in on her. You cannot do it. If you do, literally, and I suppose this is probably the plan.
Leading scorer, by the way.
She's so lethal as a catch and shoot player that you have to pay her attention. Her mere presence on the court opens up so much room.
Yeah, she stretches the floor. You know, she's a floor. She stretches the floor. I think my standout player actually is Chantel Charles. She's so hard nosed and she hits shots and she plays. She looked like she knows all the offenses too. Like she really is an adaptable player. You know,
that's
I was watching.
That's kind of the difference between Chantel Charles and Shanice Beckford Norton, right? When Shanice Beckford Norton, when she's hit that switch, you can tell, right? When it's go time,
Yeah,
you can see it visually. You know, her face is showing it. Chantel's got that same switch, but she doesn't show it. She's still smiling.
Yeah, she's chilling. Yeah, you can't tell. You can't really. And she's an enforcer, you know.
This is
Another
what I'm
player. She's
saying.
injured at the moment. She went to Florida.
Paige.
Paige. When they were playing in Europe, Paige was that. Like, yo, don't mess with my teammates. I'm gonna hit you if you hit my teammate. If you screen my teammate too hard, you get this elbow in your face when I'm supposed to be boxing out. I like that. Like I love that, and not just to take away from her offensive game too and her skill set, but you need that enforcer in Europe. They're gonna miss him now. They're gonna miss her now in the final.
Every team needs a goon, man. Every team needs a goon.
Yeah,
unless something's happened in the last couple of days, Paige, she played in the semi.
Boy, I didn't see it. I remember she.
Yeah, 7:46. She played.
Yeah, so but I mean, she was injured, so she's coming back into it. I remember she was doing, the commentary with you guys, as she came at halftime and she's been hurt. But I've noticed that,
Yeah,
in
and
Europe she was
also
out there. She was out there setting screens, running the floor, hitting people, rebounding, doing all that. So they have everything really. They have the finesse, they have the toughness.
Those players are key, Ishmael. Like you're completely right.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a roster like this, sometimes your value is just, can you allow me to get player X off the floor and we don't go under?
Exactly.
Just while they catch their rest. Liam McDermott, I suspect, would start for every other team in this league. That I feel like that would be the case.
100%.
Hardly plays for London Lions, but her value is in that, okay, I need a few minutes here where I can get Kennedy Leonard off the floor, give her some breathing space, and we don't get worse. We don't have to necessarily get better, but you're stopping us from getting worse.
This Lions team is absurdly deep. They are, like we've just talked about, a whole string of players who every single one of them is a starter in every other team in the WBBL.
And this is where Sevenoaks miss a Tiani Clark. Like, we can get into her numbers and all that because she's been a WBBL player going back to her Northumbria days, and she's been an impact player in that way statistically. But more than that, she's a veteran, and she adds an extra element of depth to that squad, and she takes the workload off of Kakar. Kakar's having to do a hell of a lot this season, and she's obviously capable of it, as we've seen over the years. But, I don't necessarily want Kakar to be my leading assist player in the role that she has to play on offense. She has to be the top scorer, and you have to run the offense. Well, we're asking a lot,
So, they do. I have noticed that they do mix that up, though. I have seen Renee Bush at the point guard position, which I like. If she's getting ready to use a screen and see some daylight and let it fly, because she gets the ball into the pocket so quick, she could do that.
Yeah,
I understand
that's not really their
style.
That's what she's supposed to be doing, because if I'm telling Renee Bush to run the offense, I'm losing something there from her.
100%. I fully agree with you. I think the situation, though, what we actually get when Renee Bush has the ball in her hand is a player that you can't go under on, period. And then you have to go over the screen, and then you force a rotation from the back line. And we're talking about situations, if you're switching everything, let's be real. If you got Kat Carr setting a screen on the ball, and the person who's guarding the ball is the point guard from London Lions, as great as she is on offense, she can't guard Kat Carr in the post. So and Kat Carr's a very intelligent basketball player. So if she's going to take you down to the post and play basketball down there because you want to switch everything, London Lions now need to make an adjustment.
I hear what you're saying with that, Ish, but this is where you have to be careful. So let me flip it on you, right? You're London Lion, you're coaching London Lions. Who are you guarding Cat Call with to begin with?
I got leading on you, Kaka.
Right. Now, am I putting any other ball handler apart from Cat Call in the situation where Joe Leader Warner is switching onto you?
It's
I don't
possible
know
though.
if I want to do that.
If it's possible, if you put Cat Carr in a pick and roll, the only tough thing about having Jolene Warner in a pick and roll is when she switches, she's
coming aggressively.
She's playing with her chest and she's got her hand under the ball. So I agree with you. But Renee Bush is also a GB international. She has to work on being able to handle that situation enough to make the ball rotate, to make the ball rotate enough. You know, you come off, you get the high pressure, it's a little backup dribble, someone shortens the pass. By that time, you've got a situation where Cat Carr's in a sweet spot. And let's not forget that Cat Carr face up can hoop, can flat out hoop. So she can, I'm a short row and play open court. I'm gonna shoot threes, I'm gonna do this stuff. So I'm not saying that's not the only option, obviously, but I'm looking at just ways in my brain where this game can get super interesting quick, you know? And I think
the chess match between Mark Clark and Len Bush is going to be quite fun, if it's still a game, that is. And we're really hoping for that to be the case because, you know, I miss those contests. I go back to when it was just maybe pre-WBBL, the contest between what used to be Uwick Archers and the Sheffield Hatters. Those games, you know, it was from tip to buzzer. You could not split these teams. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why I'm such a big fan of WBBL and WNBL D1 basketball, outside of the fact that I'm just passionate about women's sports and them having the opportunities that they deserve, like stupid stuff like, hey, you're a girl, you can't play football after year 9. What's that about? That's ridiculous. Let's fix that. Anywho, is because the finals that I went to, when I was first really exposed to women's basketball, was so much more interesting than the men's BBL finals.
Let's not get it twisted. The last few years, and I want to say we go back to maybe 2017 with this, when it's been back-to-back women's final, men's final. Maybe once has the men's final been the better game.
Oh, right. I was wondering where this was going. Yeah. Once or twice. Yeah. I'm thinking about that Leicester Sevenoaks final in the playoff. That was outrageous. I thought Leicester was going to win that day. A certain basketball player who we have spoken about heard me, then went off and was MVP. So, you know, fair play. I've told that story before. She was extremely kind to me afterwards. She's like, I remember you. She gave me an interview. It was amazing. Janice Monacana just absolutely took over that game. She was unreal. And also the Hatters. Who did the Hatters beat on that Helen Naylor buzzer beater?
Oh, the Helen Naylor buzzer beater. I think
was that on the Wildcats?
It might have been.
It's the Wildcats.
It wasn't Nottingham.
No, I was watching that game on my phone on a bus going to.
It wasn't Nottingham.
Man, I think it might have been Nottingham.
What competition was that again? Because you know
it was
Birmingham
Cup, and I'm pretty sure Nicolette Fongley played, and that must be Durham Palatinates.
No, they didn't play no Durham.
Bear with.
You gonna make me find it.
Bear with, brother.
That was Sheffield Hatters.
Yes.
What year was that?
2018.
2018.
Oh yeah.
17. I'm telling you, it was Nottingham. I remember.
By the way, like, you know, the WBBL, when you want to talk about buzzer beaters, I remember. So it must have been I want to give it 2017. NBPC Manchester Mystics versus Sheffield Hatters. I think we had Helen Naylor on the line for 2 free throws, made the first, missed the second. And when I say Mystics got down the floor with the quickness for an Amy Brown 3 to win the game, oh my God.
Man, what year did we say it was?
2018?
2018. All right.
Come on, Ish, I'm counting on you here.
2018 is a long time ago. I'm old, bro. 2018 is
4 years ago, you know.
4 years is wild. That's crazy.
Oh no. Is this the one? We're all wrong, lads.
No.
Don't tell me it
We're
was
all wrong.
Northumbria.
Nah. Let me. Is this?
Because the first winners of the WBBL Cup were Manchester Mystics. Shout out the home team. Dominique Allen
No, but
MVP of the day.
No. Let me show you. Observe.
What? What's happening?
There it is.
You're
Helen Naylor
kidding.
jump shot, made
Sevenoaks.
3. It was Sevenoaks.
Oh, it was Sevenoaks because my teammate was going crazy.
It was Sevenoaks.
Yes. Yes.
I can't believe it.
Shout out to Alex Awumi.
That's
both of my teammates are going crazy. Alex Wumi and Joshua Goddard. His girlfriend plays there too, Haley Miller. So I remember that. Yes, it makes sense now. Damn.
I remember speaking to Len after the game, but I couldn't remember the context. Yeah.
Well, the context was that 3-point shot, and he must have been heated. I tell you.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Because there was time on the clock. If I remember correctly, there was time on the clock.
Not a lot of time.
20. What? Why is it? Yeah, I want to find something, and I can never see it until.
So it's the same. It's the same as the Kyrie Irving 3 against.
That means that
people don't remember how much time was left in the game.
1.5 seconds on the clock. So that must mean that Nottingham Wildcats beat Caledonia Durham the year before.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I just saw that. They got
the curse. The curse.
That's when they had that. What's that? She was one of the. We was talking about BBL goats. And
Ash Harris.
Ash Harris.
Insane.
Now back to Ash Allen, just for your international viewers.
Rip
City.
So I just want to let you know, like Dom Allen dominated. I'm just saying.
She's a baller too. Dom Allen's one of those players that stresses me out, though.
Please tell her.
No,
look at the basket, man.
She smiles a lot, but I think she's got that psychopath smile. Like, yeah, I'm smiling.
No, she's a goon. She's a goon.
I'm gonna knock you in your head. I'm not playing with no Olympians.
I've seen her. Like she's actually a goon. Don't piss her off. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing that at
all. Well, this has sort of descended into random BBL history, which
what we're here for, man. It's what we're here for.
I was going to say here for it. Is there a scenario that we can see Sevenoaks coming away with the dub?
Yes, there is a scenario.
Don't get borderline disrespectful. That's what I'm going to say. You're making a face right now. I'm worried.
Me?
No, Greg, I'm watching.
Oh, this is
what face did I make?
You made a face. Yeah, there is a scenario. You're gonna say something wild. I'm not.
Hang on. Let's
make sure it's just him over there.
Oh my God, are you really
put
doing
his
this
whole name on there? Listen, we're not playing no games.
Director,
All right, so this is how I say it. The longer it's a close game, it suits Sevenoaks.
Yeah.
Right. Any kind of scoreboard separation, in my mind, can only benefit London Lions. Okay. And again, I'm just going to keep repeating the point. This comes back to my original thing of how they're going to be able to look after the ball and wear London down. Right. Take away the impact of their depth. Shorten the game. If we're going up and down like this, that's where it starts to matter that London Lions have a deep bench. If we shorten the game and look after the ball, if you're Sevenoaks Suns, this is where you're going to compete because they have the ability to make shots. Renee Bush, if you leave her open, please count it.
Killer.
Janice, you leave her open, please count it.
Killer.
And, not for nothing, you've got another 2 killers that we haven't spoken about. There's Yulia Koppel over there. There's Judith Fritz over there. We haven't mentioned either of these players, and they can do damage in the right situation.
And for me, I love Sevenoaks Suns, I love watching them play. I'm not gonna lie. I know they're not stacked, but the way they play offense in the fast break, in the secondary break, unselfish, all of them can really go as well. I just think the scenario, just like you said, you got to shorten the game, but it's matchups, man. You can't have Shanice Beckford Norton coming out here and getting one dribble layups, boom, and then miss shots. You can't. They cannot be. You have to win the rebound battle.
Yeah.
See, the
The
thing with
rebound battle
Shanice,
is
like,
crazy.
you have to reciprocate whatever Shanice is doing. Be physical with her, because it's always easy to push. It's not fun being pushed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna let her be a bully out there, she's gonna win that battle all day, every day. She can do that. But if you come back at her and be a little bit physical with her, just make it hard for her to get to her spots. Once she's caught the ball, yeah, she's an athlete. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But just on the way to wherever she wants to get to, put a forearm in her chest, bump her a little bit, make it hard for her to play.
The thing with Shanice is you can't let her a clean lane or
No, it's over.
Because, like you say, it's over. Her change of pace, her speed. If you're going to the O2, you are in for an absolute athletic treat. And
She's
again,
unbelievable.
Women's basketball not predicated on athleticism. And then you've got Shanice Beckford Norton, who is
She's an incredible athlete.
Absolutely
unbelievable. Like,
she's so explosive. She's incredible.
Honestly believe that if she wanted to, she could probably be dunking.
Boy,
a little bit
now
too
listen,
short.
look,
A little bit too
thereabouts. Like, it's thereabouts. Like,
Look, she gets off the floor, but she's a little bit too
explosive,
short.
but
She's a little bit too
mad.
short.
At the rim.
She's up there, but dunking. Listen. You're talking to one of the best dunkers to ever do it in this country. That's what you're talking
your
to.
Talk your
That's
talk.
real talk. I don't have to listen.
I'm gonna let Nathan know you said that.
I've been out here watching the dunk contest. I ain't seen a better one since 2012.
I'm gonna
was the best BBL dunk contest of all time. No one's done
let
better.
Nathan you said that.
Me, Jamal Anderson, Chris Dowse, the young boy, the YouTuber, and whoever. You get me? Best Nathan Shaw, my brother Nathan, best dunk contest ever. They had the best dunkers in the country just going at it. Let's be real. Certain man were using their through the legs dunk was my first round dunk. That was a throwaway dunk. These men are using it to win the competition. That's not me. Levels are different.
Anyway, go over a car? Anyone go over a car?
No, that's dead. I hate when people do that. It's just smoke and
mirrors. Can I just say, like, let's not do that because you're risking life and limb.
Contest. Like, give me smoke and mirrors. Like, is a little bit.
Even Nathan, I was like, Nathan, your dunk to win the dunk contest was trash.
Just Austin Reddick dunking over like 4 kids.
50.
Yeah. You jump. So you can jump over. You can jump over 4'7" youths. Well done. That's why you're out here getting smoked. Man shows verts. Take a picture. Can't even see man's legs. That's bars. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, Austin Reddick was jumping out, James.
Listen, he's tall. See me, I'm 6'2".
You
6'2".
You and me both saw him.
Austin wasn't that tall,
No, he's crazy. He's bouncy.
He's ridiculously bouncy.
He's bouncy for sure. But yeah, Shanice, she's the best athlete in the WBBL by far. That's what's annoying.
I'll tell you something. If we're talking about, the young players coming up that have to step up to the plate, kid at Oakland's Kizzy Spence. She's from up here, actually. She was from Manchester. She went down to Oakland's to play her academy ball. She's been playing, WBBL minutes here and there. That kid is special athletically. Like, let me tell you what she did. She was under 16, right? We went to play against Derby at Derby. She didn't understand that she shouldn't be able to do this because obviously you live in your own body. You're just capable of things. She caught the ball. No dribble from the 3-point line in motion for a Euro step layup with no dribble with contact from the 3-point line. I couldn't believe it.
There is one girl in Essex, I swear, that's dunking.
And layup lines, yeah.
Is that D'Angelique Waite?
I'm not sure on the name.
Angel Waite.
She's throwing it down 1 foot. That's tendonitis. I don't even use the 1 foot John.
Yeah, I think it's Angel Waite, man. Shout out to Angel Waite.
Izzy Mamadou as well down in D1. She was dunking in layup lines as well. In EABL.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Izzy.
I remember Eleanor Jones dunking when she was younger.
I think, even though I'm complaining, because that's what I do. Even though I'm complaining about it.
This is the same guy that's going to come after me when I say, yo, stop complaining. Okay, continue.
No, but I'm saying,
even
though
that face on there, didn't you?
He made a face, you know.
He made a
trying
face.
to violate. I had to stop it. But even though I'm complaining about the situation with Janice, especially Janice, because that frustrated me. The players coming behind them. We need to get infrastructure in quick. I saw that some money got put into Basketball England, but don't let me get on. You know, these men write to me every weekend, so let me not say nothing before they start blacklist me. But that's what they do, bro. They
Why
write
you
to
always
me
in the
every
principal's
week,
office?
bro. Last season they wrote to me every week. They were sending 60 refs to the games. Like, relax. But
do you just have like a direct debit set up now for the fines?
Yo, they want that so bad. They want a standing order from me. You're not getting it from me.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Bugging out. You want a standing order. You're bugging. You want to come out here and tell me rubbish. Anyway, do you know how much appeals I got to write? Wrote bare of them. Crazy. For
See,
what?
it's funny you're going through all that. Like, Daz, honestly, Daz does not understand how I don't get texts.
Bro.
Because I've seen you. Because I've seen you live in person.
I get text when the game's finished.
Right.
But look, we're writing you up. All right.
All right, here's my thing, Daz. You say you see me in action, right? Have you ever seen me abuse a ref?
I don't abuse refs. I got abused by a ref. This is no lie. We was in Newcastle, yeah. I know. Listen, we was in Newcastle.
I want the whole
love
story.
Going to Newcastle.
We was in bare times. So obviously I'm frustrated because I'm in Newcastle again. And to me, no disrespect to Newcastle University, but it's dry. So we're in Newcastle. I'm guarding Moya, and he's sick. I love Moya. I think he's one of the best players in the league. But when he's trying to go past me, obviously I'm making him turn. So he's grabbed my arm and he's gone past me. I said to the ref, look, I'm guarding young boy full court. That's not going to change, yeah? I just don't want him to grab my arm anymore because it's illegal. The ref comes up to me and swears at me. I'm not lying. Uses an expletive on the basketball court when I just got a message from the league saying any more expletives is a direct technical. So who do you give a technical to when the ref is swearing? And this is an earshot of Moya as well, but we don't snitch. Anyway.
You're damn right we snitch. You're damn right we snitch.
Nah, the same ref. Zaire gets hit on a 3-point shot. Clear. Blatant. The same ref who decided to talk to me like I'm a joke, man, yeah, is the same ref that makes that donut call over there. After the game, I talk to him, I articulate myself like a professional sportsman. You get me? Media trained professional sportsman. My other teammate, I can't talk for him. He's a wild one. I'm relaxing. I'm like, look, man, you bugged out. This is what happened. You missed that call. You wanted to go home because you didn't want no overtime in this situation. We should have won the game. Period. If we'd have gone to overtime, we would have won that game. I was cooking in the fourth. So then I go home and I get a letter. Oh, Ishmael, you. I said no. I take the video and I post it on Instagram and I post it on Twitter straight away. Tell me why my phone's pinging off. Yo, I beg you take that down. Tell me why that's happening. Tell me why the nation's got me.
Then I have to write clips of you bugging out as well.
Bro, I was relaxed. I didn't use any expletives.
I'm not saying that day, but I've got clips of you bugging out.
You need to throw them away. Anyway.
Put them in the group chat is what you need to do.
Anyway.
Matter of fact, you bugged out so hard, you turned around to the camera and said, sorry.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds like me. But you know what? I remember that. That was peak. But these men were playing games. Like, you want to come out here and not beat this team by 20, and then we got to go back and figure out what happened. That's long. But what I'm saying is, the refs. If we want to talk in context of the finals, I need the refs to leave the game alone because I was watching the game that they had at the Lions. The refs ruined that game. Refs ruined that game. Period. They ruined that game. They were ruining it. Yeah, I'm like you ruined that game. That was bad. Like we don't want one player to have 3 fouls in the first quarter. We want to see a game. You're ruining the game. Go and talk to her and say, look, this is what's legal, what you're legally allowed to do, and this is what you're not legally allowed to do. Don't go.
We've got a pre-game for that, you know.
Even Joe Leadon Warner got called for a foul when the girl fouled her. She went to dive for the ball. She got to the ball first, and the girl cleared her out, and Joe got called for the foul. It was their second foul. And this is when Lakin James was bringing them back. Whack, whack, layup 3, layup 3, coming off the screen, getting to the Baja. Don't ruin the games this weekend. We don't want to see you, man.
And what I will say to that point is that in the men's semi-final that I was also fortunate enough to commentate, refs had a real quiet day.
Yeah, let them play.
They were ridiculous. London, I don't know if London Lions men have ever conceded fewer fouls in a game, to be honest.
Let them play. We don't want to see.
Kyler Kelly's got a habit of collecting the fouls, man. He needs to.
But he's listen. Within reason, Kyler Kelly just fouls people, bro. He just fouls people.
Saying like,
he's a shot blocker. He's supposed to be changing shots. He'd be out here fouling. That's what happens. I'm saying within reason. Don't call these fouls that are not fouls that don't affect the game. Kyler Kelly be out here whacking people, dog. You know what I'm saying? He don't beat no one to no spots. He doesn't play vertically because he wants to put the ball into the 5th row. Okay, eat your fouls. Go sit down. Let my boy Chris play. That's the situation with Kyler Kelly. But the WBBL game, the fouls that they were calling were not fouls. Like you're not. And this is the one thing I'll say about refs in this country when it comes to women's basketball. I don't want to say that they have some sort of inherent bias against women and they don't let them play physical, but that's how it seems.
I'd agree with that because on a weekly basis, like it's just, and it's like clockwork. You can tell when it's coming. I'm sat there. I'm like, no, just leave it, Rianne, just leave. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It's like, you can look at the ref's body language and tell that he's interested now. First bump, what was that? Second bump, wait a minute, and you're like, in the third one, definitely. Whether it's a foul or not, he's going to call the third one. And then we got
to speak to Greg about his language.
We really do.
Oh Lord, we need to get.
You've got a dumb button, Daz. Go away.
See me, and they think I'm bugging out here, Daz. They think it's me. It's not me. It's them. It's everyone else. I feel like
Daz released the pre-show video. I'm not having this.
Nah, man. But in context of the final, man, I'm just looking. That's the game I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the Leicester London Lions game, but the game I'm interested in is the Sevenoaks Suns and the London Lions. 2 teams, in my opinion, who didn't fall off at all, who didn't succumb to. They adapted with whatever shortcomings they had in situations, especially London Lions, who had an incredible, insane schedule. Like, we forget that. We forget how healthy they are. So big up their physio.
It's unbelievable how healthy and fit they've been able to stay. Like, they played a tough European schedule. Like, you talk about close games. I'm reminded of that win against Bourges, and that's the biggest game in. You'll know better than me, Greg. Is that the biggest game in the history of women's basketball in this country?
Yeah.
It's up there, top 2.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the,
and you're going to hit
that were on the, I mean, it was ridiculous what they got up to back in the day. But like,
serious question,
48 hours later.
Yeah,
I got a question for you though. In context of Europe, did London Lions underachieve?
No,
just eye test.
Absolutely not.
No,
because first of all, I'll be honest.
Eurocup is a hard competition.
Go and find the biggest London homer there is, right? And they didn't have London getting out of the group stage.
Facts. But I mean, in context of, but British basketball is going to get disrespected anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about in context of me. I feel like they did. I feel like they were better. I feel like they were better than the team that beat them. That's how I feel.
Against Bourges.
You have to look at it for what
I felt like they could beat them. Like, bro, I felt like, yo, you can do this. I was sitting in my yard, like, and I don't want to use the word. Actually, do you know what's raw? I don't want to use the word underachieved. I don't want to use that word. But just for lack of a better word, I just felt like they could have gone further. I understand who won it. I understand all of that. But I've been watching Euro Cup women's basketball. If you think about the fact that my cousin plays in Euro Cup right now.
Yeah.
If you think about the fact that Shea Petty, one of my homies, played Euro Cup when I was in Germany, then went to the Euro League. Like, I know basketball in the context of who matches up well and what translates. And I felt like London Lions could have done better. That's my honest opinion. Like, I'm not saying they did bad. I wanted for them to be further. Maybe it's the want, you know. But I felt like the team that they had is better than a lot of teams I've seen over the years go further. That's what I wanted to kind of say.
So I'll give you this much, Ish. They competed, which makes it feel like, yeah, we won a little bit more in terms of the result. I mean, they took a game off Tango Borges in Borges. You understand? Like, that is not the easiest thing to do at all. Bear in mind, this is the same club that Joe Liedemorne won Euro Cup women with.
Yeah.
In, I want to say, 2017?
No, a bit earlier than that. I think it was 2015, 16. But also, this is the Borges that were a EuroLeague team last season.
2016, she won Euro Cup with Tango Borges. Right. So Borges have serious, and I mean serious pedigree at that level. You know, they know,
and their roster is loaded with French internationals.
You know, and not for nothing. When it comes to things like playing European basketball alongside your league competition, it's just the know-how of how to prepare your body, how to prepare mentally, how to eat right. They've been doing this every single year at the highest level of the competition, and you know the Lions obviously have Leader Warner in there who's done it. I think Azania at one point played for TTT Riga, who've been up there.
She played with Shea.
Yeah, so you know they've got that experience, but it's not all the way down the roster, and it's not all the way institutional experience.
But you know what? It sounds crazy. It's gonna sound wild, yeah. But as much as you like experience, you like the ignorance. You love it. You love the people that ain't been there before because they go crazy.
Yeah, it's not the experience of playing; it's the experience of everything else around it. Like, you know, that small thing. Maybe I need a nap today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When they played against Castelberen, the two players that really stood out for me for Lions in the second half, Shanice, Chantel, they really upped their game a huge degree, and that was a bit of an eye opener for me. I knew they were good, obviously, don't be ridiculous, but that was a real eye opener of like, oh no, these two are like really going to be a massive part of this team all the way through. And I'm expecting one or both of them to have a serious impact on this final on Sunday. So we do not have a lot of time remaining. So all that leaves me to ask you two before we have a little final comments is Greg who's winning. Come on, Greg. Come on, let's go. Come on. Stop mucking about.
There's no way I'm picking against London Lions. Ish, as much as you want to, won't pick against London Lions. But now it comes down to the tiebreaker, which is going to be a score split. I was talking to our guy Michael Hansen Morris in the week, and he seems to think it's either going to be really close or an absolute blowout. I split the difference. I say we're going to be sitting around an eventual 20 points. I say eventual because we're not going to just jump out early and coast.
Yeah.
They're going to chip away and get to 20 by the end of it. So London Lions by 20.
Ish.
I hate these things, man. I don't do
But like, listen, right? Here's the thing.
Say it with your chest.
You're going to make a take. You're going to say it with your chest, and people are going to come for you, and you're just going to back it up. And say, well, okay.
Fair enough. So I'll say this. You know, I'm a Sevenoaks fan, so I'm going with Sevenoaks.
Oh, what's by
man like Ish Bayless?
Yo, I'm a Sevenoaks fan. I go there, they welcome me. I sit in the gym. I get to watch great basketball. I want to see them do well. You know, come for me if you want, but I don't care in it. I like.
By how many?
5. That's what I need. 2 possession game. Love that. Need it.
The thing that, and I said this to Azania Stewart on a men's commentary. I want every game Lions to play to be competitive. I want every single team in this league to come at them and push them to the limit. And this was before they went undefeated. They were a couple of games away from the end of the season. I don't think they'd even play Sevenoaks yet. And what I mean by that is, like, I want to see history made. So, I expect to see history made. I expect to see the Lions win this game. And I, like Greg, I'm feeling about 16, 20, somewhere around there. And again, like Greg, I'm not expecting them to go in there and, put 40 on them early and then just coast. I'm expecting it to be a battle and an absolute dogfight and some great basketball along the way. I'm expecting Sevenoaks to push them, but I'm still expecting that London Lions to take the win because that's all they've done all year. And Joe Leadon-Warner is not leaving the O2 Arena without a chip. Are you kidding me? No, not
by
happening.
any means
Not
necessary.
possible.
I'm telling
Not
you
acceptable.
I'm not saying
I can't see it happening.
I'm rather. As much as I'm a London Lions fan because of Justin Robertson, Chris Towyer, those are my brothers. I'm a Sevenoaks Suns fan because Rene Bush is one of my favorite players in the WBBL. Along with Janice, she is probably my favorite player in the WBBL. Like, she's modeled, the way she plays is how that's what I like. So I don't know, boys. You gotta go eat and chill. You get me? We'll see, innit? We'll see. We'll come back.
All right,
man. Let's set up the watch along for Sunday, man. Come join us.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. I'll ask my boss because she don't play games on Sundays. She wanna go walk in and see.
If these guys are doing the watch along, then you can watch along with them. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. Me and Kaz.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It must be nice.
He's gone now. He's gone clear. He's a different you. I forgot.
How am I different you? I've been to
different. He cuts his hair.
Can't tell him nothing these days. Can't tell him
different
nothing.
Suits now. You don't know. You're gonna have the Craig Sager thing. You don't know. It's weird. It's just different at it. It's not rolled up sleeves and a ponytail no more. That's what I'm saying.
Oh mate,
hey man, this guy hit me. He hit me with the fresh fade at the NBL finals.
Fade. But as Jalen Rose said, I can't get a fade every day.
Nah, I'm getting a fade tomorrow, man.
Hey, look, I don't trust Jalen Rose, man. That hairline is coming forward every day. What's going on?
Big up Jalen, because he had people scared about their life. I was self-conscious about mine, and I got a healthy one. But I was like, how's Jalen thing so crispy out here? What am I doing wrong? Like, I put juices and berries in my thing. I got Daz. What's going on? But then I realized he's got the spray thing. He's got
Beijing going on. His hairline is coming forward. He's Benjamin Button hairlines.
He got the Carlos Boozer, but he's just got he's got the more efficient John.
This is So
I'm gonna say one more thing since I don't know if this is gonna get edited out, but whatever. I used to play. You can look at my history of basketball teams I played for, and I'm not talking about Vince McCauley. That's my brother. But I used to play on a team, and my head coach, he used to put mascara on his hairline, and the man them used to try and tell me, "Yo, why? What's that?" And I used to be like, "Yo, don't look at me." We used to be in the huddle, and they'd be like, "Yo, don't look at me. Don't look at me. I've seen it as well. Don't bait me out. Don't make me laugh. Why are you laughing right now? That's wild. I don't know why he's put mascara on his hairline, but that's true stories. And that is in England. And just bearing in mind, there's only one person it can be. But anyway, we'll allow it.
Right. That's definitely staying in. Greg, where can people find you? What's going on with you, brother?
I'm always here, man. I'm never leaving Manchester at this point. We're just staying busy with the Manchester Swarm trials are coming up soon. We're gonna keep busy with that.
Wait, did you say Manchester Swarm?
Manchester Swarm. Hey, shout out to you with the merchandise. Manchester Basketball Club.co.uk. Check it out. But yeah, we're working, man. We're working. So it's a long road we're on.
And we got Ishmael Fontaine. What are you saying?
I want everyone to leave me alone for the summer. I'm trying to get work in. I'm trying to lose body fat. Leave me alone. Let me get focused. Let me eat porridge. You get me? That's what I want to do. And I want to first of all, talk to Greg, because I ain't got no Manchester Swarm merch. He didn't hit me up telling me nothing. I got some kicks that would match that. As long as the trousers are skinny fit, I'm ready. You got a slim fit shirt for me? Blessings. Okay? But leave me alone.
That's all you had to do, man. You only had to ask.
I had to beg. I had to go to Manchester. I had to do 15 to-camera segments and go Nando's to get this bad boy. So, yeah.
I'll do that. I like the Swarm thing. I think it's sick. You know what I mean? I've got your back.
You're not doing my to-camera segments, brother. That's me.
I was meant to bring it to Cambridge, but the urgency of the situation meant one or two things got left behind. It was a business trip.
Well, again, I'm very glad that I hadn't discovered the Nigerian market stall before your visit, because
no, I think you had. This guy,
I didn't.
You held out on me, man.
I'd have mentioned it. I'd have been like, bro, we got jollof. We're good.
Held out on me. I'm over here asking for Tesco's and whatnot.
Oh, you going to Tesco's with jollof?
He held out on me, Ish, man. Talk to your boy.
Anyway,
okay, brothers.
All right. Appreciate you both. Thank you so much for getting involved with today. Like we said, I'm going to put myself in the. Here we go. You can follow me on Twitter at @AwaitSuch. I'm getting more and more active back on the Twitter scene. Of course, FocusHoops. There we are. We're up there. Huge thank you to Ish and Mbongeni, Greg and Mpofu, for bringing us all of the preview action you could possibly want for the final on Sunday. It's going to be an absolute blast. And maybe these two lads are going to do a watch along over on the FocusHoops channels. We will see. Appreciate you, and we will see you very, very soon.